Introduction. Making friends, building social connections, starting small talks and conversations, all these seem so easy and natural for a lot of people. However, not all people have an easier time connecting with others. This is especially true for introverts whose unique personality is more focused on their inner ideas and thoughts instead of the things that are happening around them externally. Most introverts are more comfortable spending time with just a few people instead of a big group or crowd. They feel more energized when alone or with just a couple people instead of socializing. They are more reserved and quiet and don't quickly and easily open up with other people. This makes it kind of hard for them to establish a connection and make friends. If you find yourself having a hard time establishing and nurturing friendships mainly because you are an introvert or just feel uncomfortable wherever you are in a social setting, then this ebook will be your saving grace. This book is made for those who want to improve their ability to socialize, make friends, and talk to anyone comfortably. Even if you are an introvert, the information you will learn from this book will surely help you in expanding your social circle. One advantage of this book is that it presents all relevant information in a straightforward, easy to understand, and simple manner, allowing you to digest everything quickly. As soon as you finish reading this book, you will know exactly how to make real friends, influence people, and cultivate a healthier social life. It will be your ultimate guide in building a supportive community, engaging with different kinds of people, and nurturing long-lasting and genuine friendships in every phase of your life. Let's start your journey to having a happy and fulfilling social life filled with lifelong and genuine friendships by flipping the pages of this book. Chapter 1. Understanding Friendship and its Importance. Finding friends is not always easy, but it is something that you have to do, considering how genuine friendships can make your life more beautiful and enjoyable. Cultivating real and authentic friendships can add more fun and excitement to your life. Plus, it can enrich your daily experiences. The problem is that as you grow older and friendships built at school begin to fade, cultivating meaningful friendships can be harder. Once you reach adulthood, you will notice that opportunities for cultivating friendships like extracurricular settings, athletics, and school will become lesser compared to when you were still a child. Finding and making friends will be even harder for introverts whose personality is more on the reserved and quiet side. If you are an introvert yourself, then you may have probably known by now how being alone can energize you. You may not like huge crowds that much in social settings, and the act of starting conversations may be quite uncomfortable for you. It may also take a longer time for you to open up to others compared to extroverts. Despite this, it is still crucial to learn how important friendship is. You need to know the significance of having friends, so you can at least motivate yourself to exert an effort to approach those around you. Importance of friendships. So why is cultivating friendships significant even for introverts who prefer to be alone? One reason is that having good friends is good for your overall health and well-being. Your trusted friends, no matter how few, will be there for you to celebrate good times, while offering the support you need when you are struggling. You need friends to prevent the feeling of loneliness and isolation while allowing you to provide the companionship needed by others. In addition, establishing friendships can help in increasing your sense of purpose and belongingness, reducing stress, improving your happiness, boosting your confidence and self-worth, coping with trauma like serious illness, divorce, death of or losing a loved one, and loss of a job. Motivating you to stay away from or change your unhealthy habits like living a sedentary lifestyle, lack of physical activity, excessive drinking, or unhealthy eating patterns. The friendship you build also plays a vital role in improving your overall health and well-being. In fact, adults who have strong social connections are less prone to developing major health problems like high blood pressure, depression, and unhealthy BMI, body mass index. There is even a high chance for seniors with meaningful friendships and strong social support to live longer compared to those who only have fewer connections. Once you reach adulthood, though, you will notice that it is kind of hard to make new friends or maintain your existing friendships. With all the priorities you have, like work, children, family, or aging parents, you will notice your friendships taking a back seat. There is also a possibility for you and your existing friends to go apart because of changes in interest and lifestyle. It could be that you have moved into a new neighborhood and never got the chance to meet new people yet. Despite how difficult it is sometimes to make and find friends, it would still do you a lot of good to exert some effort to establish friendships. The comfort and enjoyment that real friendships can give will be worth the effort. What makes a healthy friendship? As you try to make friends, remind yourself that quality is more important than quantity. Yes, it would be better for you to nurture a wide and diverse network and a group of acquaintances and friends, but expect to feel an even better sense of well-being and belonging if you nurture meaningful and close relationships, specifically friendships guaranteed to be with you through thick and thin. With that said, it helps to identify the specific elements and ingredients that make up healthy friendships. By doing that, you can easily identify which one among your friendships is worth keeping. Take note that there are toxic kinds of friendship, so it would be much better for you to learn the specific traits of a healthy friendship, allowing you to stick to one that's meant to be kept. Once you start making friends, reflect on your present relationships and find out if the following elements are present. Communication. How you talk with your friends plays a vital role in making the relationship work. You will know that you are in a healthy friendship if you and your friend can communicate your opinions, beliefs, and feelings without any problem. As you communicate, consider phrasing and tone to prevent miscommunications and misunderstandings. Boundaries. Boundaries refer to mental, emotional, and physical guidelines or limits that people set for themselves. These boundaries should be respected in a friendship. By doing that, you and your friends will feel comfortable regardless of the activities you do. Consent. Another important element of a good friendship is consent, which refers to uncoerced permission to communicate with another. Remember that a friendship is already toxic if there is coercion involved, meaning there is a lack of consent. This happens if it already comes with the pressure to do something, bargaining, or physical force. There should be consent in every friendship that you build. It should come in the form of asking about boundaries, respecting such boundaries, and listening actively to responses. Trust. When you make friends, and you want it to be for keeps, you have to make sure that there is trust. You and your friends should have confidence in each other. If you feel like you still have to question if you can trust someone, it would be much better to relay what you feel directly to them. Identify the exact reason for your inability to trust someone so you can at least fix it first before you start meeting new friends and acquaintances. Support. Another important element in friendships is support. Both parties in a friendship should feel the support of each other needed in various aspects of their individual lives. There should be empathy and compassion for each other. Aside from having mutual support, it is also advisable to recognize your specific needs and communicate any restrictions or boundaries. Healthy conflict. One misconception of people regarding conflicts among friends is that these indicate unhealthy relationships. However, take note that disagreements and issues in friendships are normal. Even if you are with your close friends, you can't still expect everyone to have exactly the same opinions, beliefs, and interests as you. There will always be times when disagreements and misunderstandings happen. This is okay, as long as you and your friends handle it the healthy way. The best way to have a healthy conflict is to communicate your opinions and feelings while maintaining kindness and respect toward each other. Fun. Of course, you can't expect a friendship to be healthy if there is no fun. Aside from the mentioned elements, you should also have fun moments with your friends. You will immediately know that your friendship is healthy if you enjoy the time you spend with each other. Having fun with your friends is definitely going to help improve your general well-being as it allows you to enjoy more solid and enjoyable friendships. Common challenges in making friends. Building and sustaining friendship is not always easy. If you have a hectic daily schedule, nurturing solid friendships and building good relationships may be difficult. If you are already ready to start your journey to make friends, be aware of the usual challenges and obstacles you may encounter along the process. Lack of time. With many things that require your attention, making friends may become the least of your priorities. Time constraint is one of the most common reasons why you have a hard time finding and making friends. Anxiety. Another reason why you may find it difficult to make friends is that you experience a bit of anxiety every time you meet new people. Such anxiety may be a result of your fear of judgment and rejection from others. Your anxiety may be causing you to worry too much, thereby interfering with your ability to communicate with others and connect. The reason is that you may have a hard time focusing and engaging in conversations if you feel uncertain or nervous about yourself. These discomforts may be the ones that are preventing you from making friends. High expectations. It may result from the pressure you give yourself to make several friends and be popular. This kind of pressure may only be affecting your social interactions. Stop having high expectations, because it is never mandatory to have a huge group of friends. There are instances when just a couple of friends would be enough to enjoy its rewarding benefits. Meeting people. Another challenge is meeting people at first. It could be that you are unsure where to go to meet people or what to say once you meet them. If you are not that comfortable in social settings yet, breaking into a circle of friends that is already established may be challenging too. This is especially true if you are an introvert or have a hard time combating your shyness and getting enough courage to start conversations. Avoidance. Do you find yourself shying away from or turning down opportunities to socialize or make friends because you simply wish to avoid the discomforts and difficulties that come along with it? There are several instances when your tendency to avoid these difficulties goes unquestioned and unnoticed. It helps to reflect on the exact reason why you turn down certain opportunities to interact or socialize with others. Be more mindful of this reason and its source. Remember, you will be unable to meet new friends if you constantly avoid every social opportunity that comes your way. Fear of rejection. Another possible challenge as far as making friends is concerned is the fear of rejection. It could be that you were abused or betrayed before. This may have been causing you to have a hard time building social connections now. If that is the case, you should start healing this fear. Start recognizing the good things that you can get from having strong social support, instead of looking at it as something that will hurt or fail you eventually. If the fear is too strong, it would be better if you seek the help of a therapist who can guide you in cultivating a healthy attitude towards the act of making friends. There are indeed several challenges and obstacles you may encounter as you try mustering the courage to socialize and start cultivating new friendships. These challenges and obstacles may be limiting, but in the next chapters of this book, you will be able to learn some techniques to make friends. By overcoming these challenges, you will surely be able to master the art of making friends and expanding your social circle. Chapter 2. Self-Assessment and Self-Awareness. Understanding yourself and your unique personality. A vital first step you have to take when learning the ins and outs of creating new and meaningful friendships is to learn about yourself. Delve deeper into yourself and your personality. This means that before you start going out and socializing, you have to do a self-assessment to raise your self-awareness. You have to know who you are and what your personality is. Otherwise, you will find it even more challenging to meet new friends. Assess yourself and understand your unique personality, as it will drive you closer to your goal of finding real friends, specifically those who have similar interests to you. Take a closer look at your personal values, beliefs, and interests. Take time to scrutinize your personal values, beliefs, and interests, as all these can help you define who you are. These are key components of your personality that will define what you truly want. If you are fully aware of these components, the process of finding like-minded people will become easier and more smooth sailing. For instance, your introverted personality may prompt you to look for potential friends who respect your preference to be alone every now and then. If you know what you want, then you will surely find friends who won't force and pressure you to be in crowded and noisy settings during those moments when you need some peace and quiet. They are the ones with similar values and beliefs as you, or who respect your personality at the very least. While you can't prevent disagreements every now and then, the fact that there is respect and your values are the same will help ensure that you can preserve the friendship you have started to nurture. What's difficult and challenging is making friends with someone who is not in favor of all the things you stand for and believe in. If you want your attempt to make friends to be successful, it definitely helps to know who you are so you can develop friendships with those who make you feel respected and whose views you can respect too. You will not also end up getting pressured and forced to change your core beliefs or values. Assess your unique personality and communication style. Another way to assess your personality is to determine your specific communication style. You have to understand the way you communicate with others, as it can help you interact more effectively, which is significant in the act of making friends. Awareness of your own communication style and tendencies is also helpful in empowering you to adapt to various contexts. Your knowledge about your own communication style helps identify the areas that you need to improve. It will enlighten you on how to enhance your communication skills. It also lets you learn how to adapt to various situations. To give you an idea, here are the most common communication styles. Passive. If you are a passive communicator, then it is highly likely that you prefer avoiding confrontations. This unique personality may lead to struggles in expressing your needs and opinions openly and cause you to agree with others almost all the time, even if it is not genuinely what you like. This is so you can avoid conflict. Having a passive communication style is actually good, as it leads to a more peaceful environment. This means you can establish friendships with the lowest risk of conflicts. Note, though, that this can also result in unaddressed issues and frustration. It may also cause you to resent others and yourself and feel dissatisfied. In addition, passive communication may result in difficulties in reaching your goals and fulfilling your needs. Basically, here are some situations that show you have a passive communication style. Staying away from difficult conversations and conflict, even those that are vital in addressing issues. Inability to express thoughts, feelings, and opinions, even in instances when you have to do it. Being extremely accommodating. It takes place if you often go along with the wishes of others, even those you find unfavorable. Tendency to apologize excessively. This may happen even in instances when you feel like you did not do anything wrong. Letting people around you talk over or interrupt you. You are unsure of how to stand up for yourself in such scenarios. Minimizing your wants and needs so you can prioritize those of others. If you want to address the gray areas in this communication style, start practicing how to assert yourself and express what you feel and think more effectively. Once you confirm that you have this communication style, it helps to find the right balance, so you can express your desires and needs more effectively while also ensuring that you respect the desires and needs of those around you. Aggressive. Your communication style may fall under aggressive if you are one of those who dominate conversations. You are skilled when it comes to pushing your opinions onto others. In case you are an aggressive communicator, then it is also safe to assume that you are the decisive and assertive type. However, this type of personality and style of communication may also cause you to damage relationships and friendships even before they start. There are also instances when others feel disrespected by you. To determine if your communication style is aggressive, find out if you exhibit most, if not all, of the following. The habit of interrupting others as they speak. You may even have to raise your voice just to rule conversations. Blames others for certain problems. In other words, you have a hard time taking responsibility for your contribution to the existence of a certain problem. Uses name-calling, profane words, and insults as a means of attacking other people. Threatens others with emotional or physical harm. Uses aggressive comments when expressing dissatisfaction and displeasure. Refuses to hear out the point of view of others. You tend to dismiss the opinions of those around you as unimportant and insignificant. Makes ultimatums or demands as a means of forcing the other to comply with your wishes. Uses body language, such as invading the personal space of someone, pointing and wagging a finger, as a form of intimidation. If you are an aggressive communicator, the first quality you should develop if you want to make friends is empathy. It also helps to find your common ground with those around you without forgetting to maintain confidence in your principles and convictions. Passive-aggressive. Another style of communication that people exhibit is passive-aggressive. If you demonstrate this communication style, it is highly likely that you are passive on the surface while having the ability to express your frustration, resentment, and anger covertly or indirectly. For example, you may express it through hidden anger or sarcasm. You may possess the passive-aggressive communication style if you do most of the following. Make snarky or sarcastic comments meant to criticize or hurt others. Withholds communication or gives a silent treatment to punish someone. Agrees to do something but ends up delivering poor results. Uses humor when avoiding or deflecting an issue you intend to avoid. Makes excuses or blame others even in instances when you have shortcomings or mistakes. Uses backhanded compliments, specifically those that initially sound like praises. However, what you actually mean seems to undermine or insult the other. If you feel like your communication style is more of the passive-aggressive type, you should encourage yourself to improve it. Otherwise, it may end up damaging your friendships and building a more toxic environment. It is also highly recommended to address issues and conflicts honestly and directly. Look for constructive ways and methods to express your own needs and feelings without the need to resort to passive-aggressive behavior. This is so you can prevent misunderstandings and conflicts that may only ruin your chance of having more friends. Assertive. In the assertive communication style, you get to express your desires and needs directly, clearly, and respectfully while respecting the desires and needs of others too. If you are an assertive communicator, then good for you, as this means that you are also self-assured. With that, you also know how to express your thoughts and feelings openly without the risk of showing aggression or passivity. If you want to make friends and ensure that the friendship will last, then it helps to develop this style of communication as it is the healthiest and most effective means of interacting with people. You can immediately sense that your communication style is assertive if you demonstrate the following. Speak in a confident and calm voice without getting defensive or raising your voice. Use I statements when expressing needs and feelings. Set clear expectations and boundaries. You also know how to communicate or relay such expectations and boundaries respectfully. Acknowledge the feelings and perspective of others. Take responsibility for certain actions. You also know when to apologize or say sorry. Use active listening skills as a means of understanding the point of view of others. Use your problem-solving skills to find solutions that are also mutually beneficial to conflicts. However, if your communication style does not fall under the assertive type yet, you can rest assured that there are a couple of ways to develop it. One thing you can do is to be a more active listener. You also have to be more self-aware and sensitive and empathetic to those around you. In addition, it helps to be more respectful of the principles and perspectives of other people, even if there is also a need for you to stand up for your beliefs. Based on the communication styles indicated in this chapter, you have to find out which one belongs to you. Knowing your specific communication style will help you determine what you should improve and hone and use it to your advantage as you start looking for the right set of friends. Chapter 3. Important Communication Skills to Develop. Based on the result of your self-assessment, I'm sure you are now aware of who you are and what it is you want exactly in friendships. You are probably more self-aware now, which somewhat bolsters your confidence in making friends since you know exactly what you are looking for. The knowledge you gained from your self-assessment and from determining your unique personality and your own communication style can help you determine what skills you should develop so you can interact and communicate with others better. This should help in forging better friendships and feeling more at ease in social settings. So what are the specific communication skills you should hone that will contribute to your success in making friends? Let's learn about them in this chapter. Active listening. A highly recommended tip when it comes to making friends is to be an active and engaged listener. This is usually a strength of introverts, as most of them are known for being really good listeners. You should hone your ability to listen actively, meaning you genuinely listen to what the other person is telling you and understand them. Focusing only on what you have to say in a conversation is not a good idea. Remember that you can communicate more effectively if you talk less and listen more. This means that aside from fully understanding the information and words relayed to you, you also have to understand the specific emotions conveyed by the other person. Engaged listening and the simple act of hearing are actually very different. If you genuinely listen, and you are truly engaged with what a person tells you, then you will be able to hear even the subtlest intonations in their voice. This will let you know what they feel and the exact emotions they intend to communicate. Through engaged and active listening, you can understand people better. Plus, you can make them feel understood and heard, further cultivating pleasant and positive feelings. This is a good thing if you want to make friends since it will let you build a deeper and stronger connection with anyone. Communicating this way is also helpful in keeping your stress low while supporting your emotional and physical well-being. For instance, if you are talking to someone, calm, active, and engaged listening can help make you feel calm too. Also, even if you are talking to an agitated person, listening to them attentively is a good thing, as the simple act of making them feel heard and understood can calm them down. Now, how can you become a more engaged and active listener and use this skill as a tool to make friends and establish a deep connection? Here are some tips. Focus completely on the speaker. It would be impossible for you to listen actively and in an engaged manner if you don't give your full attention to the speaker. Do not think of something else. Avoid doing other activities too. By mainly focusing on what they tell you, you can immediately pick up even subtle nuances in a conversation, as well as nonverbal cues. Are you having a difficult time concentrating on every word relayed to you? Try to repeat important words over your head as it helps reinforce the message and maintain your focus. Do not interrupt the person talking. Avoid redirecting conversations to the point that the focus will be on your concerns. In other words, it is not a good idea to let a person know about the same bad experience you had if your goal is to listen to him intently. Keep in mind that active and engaged listening is different from waiting to talk. Your focus on what people say to you will most likely dwindle if you also try to think of what you should say next. What's worse is when they will also sense that you are not listening and are thinking of something else instead through your facial expressions. Show genuine interest. You can do that if you smile at the speaker, nod every now and then, and demonstrate a more inviting and open posture. You can also encourage them to continue talking by expressing minor comments verbally, such as and yes. Avoid judging. For more effective, engaged, and active communication, it is not necessary to agree with the values, opinions, and ideas of others all the time. However, you should remember an important rule as you open conversations and try to make friends. You should set aside judgment and withhold criticisms as they are still sharing their experiences with you. This is important so you can give them your full understanding and develop a better connection with others. Offer feedback. You may want to provide the speaker with feedback if you feel like there is a sort of disconnect in the conversation. You can reflect on what they are telling you by paraphrasing. Reflect by using words similar to, "It seems to me like you were saying," or What you are telling me is, avoid repeating what they tell you word for word, as doing so may cause you to look and sound unintelligent and less sincere. What you ought to do is express the words of the speaker based on how they mean to you. It also helps to ask questions if there are points you want to clarify. Listen closely to the emotion behind each word. In most cases, the higher speech frequencies of humans are the ones that exhibit emotions. Be more in tune with such frequencies, so you can grasp the actual meaning of everything they tell you. You can practice this ability if you regularly exercise the small muscles found in your middle ear, which is the smallest muscle in the human body. A few ways to do so are to sing, listen to specific types of music with high frequencies, or play a wind instrument. Verbal communication. It is also crucial to hone your verbal communication skills. Keep in mind that verbal communication is not just all about the things you say to those around you, it is also how you deliver it. Do you wish to improve both your conversational and listening skills? Use these tips. Prepare beforehand what you intend to say. If you already know someone whom you wish to approach and want to be friends with, it helps to prepare beforehand. The preparation should be more on organizing your thoughts to guarantee clarity in your conversations. This also means that your interactions will be more productive and have a higher chance of turning into meaningful friendships. Remove conversation fillers. As much as possible, you should get rid of the usual fillers in conversations, such as and Familiarize yourself with such fillers so it will be easier for you to detect them right away every time you use them. With that, you can stop yourself and speak more confidently. Note that in most cases, these filler words and phrases are used as a means of filling the silence. In that case, remind yourself that silence is natural in any conversation, especially if you have just met someone for the first time. Try embracing the natural silence in conversations instead of trying so hard to fill it. Use clear and concise words. By using succinct language, you can easily get your message across and make the other person understand you better. Before you talk to someone and try to make friends, find out how you intend to present yourself and the topics you intend to talk about. As much as possible, present it clearly and by using only a few words. Do not use complicated words and sentences. Do not provide irrelevant information, too. The goal here is to be more natural and relatable, so you can easily draw people and make them feel comfortable talking to you. Be more mindful of the tone you use. The tone you use as you speak plays a significant role in all forms of verbal communication. The way you use the tone also has an impact on how others engage and interact with you. If you want people to feel at ease with you, use a warm and friendly tone. Pair it up with a smile, too. This should help you leave a positive impression. Avoid using a monotone or flat voice, as this may only cause you to look uninterested, driving away potential friends. The best thing that you can do is to change your tone a bit and then apply inflection as a means of emphasizing key points. The verbal modeling technique is also helpful. It is all about copying the other person's tone. For instance, if you are talking to someone for the first time and his tone is soft, then it is also highly recommended to speak softly. This is so you can match his tone. This provides an advantage, as most people tend to get drawn to a tone of voice that is the same as theirs. In other words, this technique can help a lot if you want to increase engagement and deepen connections with potential friends. Speak confidently. You have to hone your confidence too. This is important so those around you will be able to sense that you truly believe what you are saying. If you lack confidence, then it will also be hard for you to earn the trust of others, especially those you have just met. Improve your confidence as you talk with different kinds of people so you can establish your authority and credibility, allowing them to trust you. This will also encourage them to listen to you. The good news is that you can use a couple of techniques that will help demonstrate your confidence. One is to speak using the right tone. It also helps to interact with people with the same interests, as this will further bolster your confidence since you know that you have something in common to talk about. Get in touch with your authentic self. Get a grasp of the exact person you are, so you can bring out your unique and authentic self in every interaction. Be yourself. People will trust you and have the potential of being your friends if you are transparent and you show your genuine self. Say, for example, the conversation revolves around a topic you are unfamiliar with. If someone asks you a question about it, it is all right to say that you know nothing about it. You can earn the respect of people if you are honest, than when you pretend that you are aware of something and give them inaccurate answers whenever they ask questions. Demonstrating your true self in a conversation is also a big help in building meaningful relationships since you get the chance to relay who you truly are as a person. It can make you and the people around you feel at ease and comfortable, which is a good thing in keeping everyone genuinely engaged in the conversation. You will have a much better chance of making friends if you are authentic. Nonverbal communication, body language. You also have to improve your nonverbal communication skills, body language. Your facial expressions, tone of voice, posture, and gestures make up your body language or nonverbal communication. All these body cues serve as powerful tools for communication. To enhance your skills in communicating and interacting with others, thereby bolstering your ability to make friends, you should also make it a point to familiarize yourself with body language. Keep in mind that body language presents itself in various scenarios. For instance, it is highly recommended not to slouch if your goal is to show your interest in the words expressed by someone. What you should do instead is nod, so you can make them feel heard. Consider your facial expressions too. Every time you speak, make it a point to use natural hand gestures. There should be proper eye contact too. A strong understanding of various forms of body language and nonverbal communication is necessary to gain complete control of the messages you convey to others. Your knowledge in this field will also help you decode and assess the specific emotional states of the people you are talking to. By understanding nonverbal cues and signals, you can easily communicate your engagement and focus to those you want to establish friendships with. Nonverbal communication or body language also contributes to building trust and connection. This is the reason why you can see a lot of culture showing some kind of physical gestures, such as a hug, nod, or handshake. These gestures are often requirements for more effective personal interactions. You can also use nonverbal communications to establish how authentic your feelings are to the people you are talking to. Demonstrate how trustworthy you are as much as possible. Complement your words with good posture and direct eye contact. By doing that, you are giving your real feelings a voice, which is a good thing for establishing friendships and starting conversations. So basically, here are the different kinds of body language or nonverbal communication that you have to familiarize yourself with, allowing you to use them in your daily conversations and everyday attempts to find and make friends. Facial expressions. Keep in mind that your face is highly expressive. This means that it can demonstrate a lot of emotions even if you don't say a word. Facial expressions are also different from other types of body language or nonverbal communication in the sense that the former is universal. You can expect facial expressions of anger, sadness, disgust, fear, surprise, and happiness to be generally the same from one culture to another. If your goal is to make new friends, it is important to work on your facial expressions. Make them more positive. Note that you can already demonstrate positive engagement even with the subtlest facial expression, such as a slight relaxation of the jaw, a simple nod of your head, and a flicker of one of your eyebrows. Posture and body movement. Think of how your posture and body movement can affect how people perceive you. Note that their perception of you may change depending on how you walk, stand, hold your head, or even say things. How you carry yourself and more conveys information abundantly. In this nonverbal form of communication, you will have to think of your bearing, stance, posture, and even your slightest movements. To feel more comfortable talking to people, which is a huge help in expanding your social circle regardless of how introverted you are. Show your confidence as you approach them, and you can make that possible through proper posture. Note that from your shoulders down to your toes, the manner through which you position yourself can be of help in effectively communicating with others. Show how confident you are, as well as your authority, when necessary, by standing up tall with your shoulders pushed forward. Apply the same approach if you are talking to someone in a seating position. It helps to sit straight and gaze at the person you are talking to at eye level. Make it a point to show proper gestures, too, so you can articulate clearly anything you intend to communicate. These gestures are often composed of your face and hand movements, with all of them helping in crystallizing your thoughts. Ensure that both your hands are free, so you can also use them in delivering your message. Your movements should be natural, too. They should not be extremely animated. Otherwise, such movements may only distract the people around you. Eye contact. Another important element of nonverbal communication or body language that you can use in your attempt to make friends is eye contact. How you look at others can contribute to communicating several things, like your interest, attraction, and affection better. It can even demonstrate your hostility. With proper eye contact, you can maintain a smooth flow of conversation. You can also use it to gauge a person's interest based on their response. Proper eye contact during conversations will let the other person know right away if you are truly interested in making friends with them. It also helps determine whether the two of you will click as friends. If you are unable to hold your gaze on someone for over a second, then it displays your nervousness or anxiety. Direct eye contact should be around 2 to 3 seconds, after which you should look away. Do not go beyond that point, as it may only result in strained and awkward conversations. Touch. Touch also plays an important role in communicating with others with the ultimate goal of forging great friendships. It allows you to communicate really well. Think of the message that a weak handshake, controlling grip, or a warm bear hug can convey. All these involve touch. Use a firm handshake as you introduce yourself. Note that this body language is capable of conveying plenty of nonverbal cues. Ensure that your handshake is firm, one that uses complete contact from one palm to another instead of being too limp. In case you feel nervous while in a social setting, try to go to the restroom first, even for just a few minutes, so you can prepare and practice your handshake and other gestures. It is advisable to keep your hands open instead of leaving them clasped. The reason is that it helps in demonstrating and showing those around you how relaxed and confident you are. Personal space or boundary. Know the meaning of personal space or boundaries when trying to study nonverbal communication. As an introvert, you may have already been in a situation where you experience real discomfort during a conversation with someone since the other person stands too close or invades your space. As you try learning about body language and nonverbal communication, remember how important it is to develop a physical space or boundary. It is actually a need of everyone, despite the fact that such a need tends to differ based on the situation, how close you are to the other person, or the culture. It is also helpful to utilize physical space as a means of communicating several nonverbal messages, including affection and confidence. Personal space also tends to define the way you converse with others, which is the reason why you need to master this form of nonverbal communication. You can find those who are tactile and are fond of sitting near people, especially those whom they are already comfortable with. However, others are not so comfortable with being so close. Just to be safe, if you just met someone for the first time and you want to be friends with them, make it a point to establish enough personal space. In general, personal space should be up to 4 feet, while intimate space is up to 18 inches. Keep this rule in mind to prevent anyone from feeling uncomfortable when talking to you. Voice. You can also easily make friends if you master how to use the proper tone of voice. Note that in some cases, how you say your message plays a major role in whether or not your attempt to forge a friendship with someone will be successful. The people you are talking to will most likely read your voice aside from hearing your words. They usually pay attention to pace and timing. the volume of your voice, inflection, tone, and sounds, showing how much you understand the words that other people also say. Learn how to skillfully use the right tone of voice so you will be able to keep those around you engaged and interested. There are actually people who seem gifted with the ability to use nonverbal communication or body language more effectively. They are also the ones who can accurately interpret the cues and signals of others, which is the reason why others consider them to have the ability to read people. If you are not like that, you can rest assured that this skill is something you can improve. Through practice, you can improve your nonverbal communication skills. All it takes is to start paying close and careful attention to nonverbal cues and behaviors. Practice various forms of nonverbal communication or body language with others, too. By learning about your own body language or nonverbal behavior and honing your skills in this area, you will also notice a significant improvement in your ability to communicate. This is a good thing, as your exemplary communication skills will serve as your weapon in acing social settings and mustering the courage to win new friends. Chapter 4: How to Find Potential Friends and Expand Your Social Circle. Now that you are knowledgeable of the most important communication skills that you ought to develop, you should start honing such skills so you can use them in finding potential friends. Are you new in the neighborhood? Then excellent communication skills will be your weapon to winning new friends. Do you wish to deepen and strengthen your relationship with your existing friends? Then good communication skills can also help you, and your goal is to deepen your relationship and make your friendship stronger. Regardless of your friendship goal, it's important to polish your communication skills and use them in finding potential friends that will widen your social circle. Take the initiative in connecting with new people and potential friends. You can perceive it on a professional level. For instance, if you are up for a job interview, one that you have been dreaming of, then you can surely exert an effort to ace it. You may also want to do a follow-up afterward. You can liken that scenario to your social life, too. It is essential to have a genuine interest in making friends and getting to know people deeply. Show your interest to make them feel valued. Increase the number of your friends by contacting old ones. Master the art of initiating conversations, especially with people you just meet, too. Commit to doing this at least once weekly. To guide you, this chapter will tackle a few tips guaranteed to make friendships happen. Find people with common interests and activities. For starters, it's a good idea to find people with similar interests and activities as you. Look for potential friends who have a few similarities with you, those with similar mindsets and interests, to establish immediate connection and ease of communication. Look for good friends by finding common ground. You can make that possible by getting involved in things and activities you are fond of doing. This can significantly increase your possibility of meeting friends with similar interests, prompting an instant connection that has a better chance of developing into a friendship. For example, if you love sports, take part in an amateur league or intramural for your chosen sport. How about if you have a passion for outdoor activities? In that case, you can engage in several outdoor activities, such as hiking, swimming, or skiing regularly. By doing that, you can connect with many outdoor enthusiasts who will eventually become your friends. Make sure to exert an effort to spend some time with new friends to strengthen and deepen the relationship. Break out of your usual everyday routine. It is possible to attain success in making friends and ensuring that the friendship will be long-lasting if you exert an effort to step outside your comfort zone, whether it is in real life or online. As an introvert, it is highly likely for you to want to be alone and have your quiet time from time to time. However, you should still make it a point to go out and about and commit to branching out on social media if your goal is to make new friends. There is actually no need to do something grand and extremely uncomfortable to make this happen. Even simple activities that make you go out there, like dining out every now and then instead of just ordering takeouts or deliveries, can already help you socialize a bit. You may also want to commit to spending a few minutes every day walking around your neighborhood. This will let you meet new people, plus it is also good for your health. Make it a point to get out there every now and then and enjoy the breathtaking sights outdoors. It is key to meeting new people, and your mental health will improve too. In addition, it helps you follow potential friends using your social media accounts or send a direct message to someone you wish to know. Accept invitations. If someone invites you to attend a party, social gathering, or any other event, find time to accept it. As an introvert, though, or someone who finds more peace in being alone, you may be tempted to decline these invitations because you feel like you will not completely enjoy it. Despite that, you should still grab any opportunity that allows you to socialize. It would benefit you if you regularly make yourself available to accept invitations. Do not decline invitations too frequently. Otherwise, people will end up not requesting your presence at events and gatherings soon. Accept the fact that there will be instances when you have to meet with people, no matter how introverted you are, so you can gain new friends. The good news is that the inconvenience only often happens at the beginning. Expect the discomfort to stop. Even if you are an introvert, once you meet friends whom you are comfortable talking to and have fun. Do not hesitate to allow other people to change you, but you need to ensure that the change is positive and healthy for you. There are instances when, despite the emotional walls you build up, meeting a friend you know you can trust will be able to break down such walls. If you find a potential friend who is also willing to connect with you, expect them to try breaking your walls and make you get out of your shell. If that happens, do not be afraid of letting them in your life. Be more open to accepting them, as this openness will play a huge role in expanding your social circle. Join clubs and organizations. Look for clubs and organizations, either online or in the community centers in your locality, that are aligned with your passion and interests. For instance, if you are already a mom who wants to make friends with other moms in your area, then look for a mom's club that will serve as a place for you and fellow moms to talk about anything related to motherhood. You will feel good as you discuss things about your children among the members of the club, including the parenting problems you may be experiencing. It will also allow you to get in touch with moms whom you can share your experiences with and some stories and tips about caring for a child. Another club that you may be interested in is a book club, especially if you are fond of books and literature. It is a good place to discuss various reading materials with potential friends. Attend local events. Just make sure that these events are those that you genuinely enjoy. For instance, if you love concerts, you can watch out for any of these events being held in your locality or nearby cities. Attend concerts of the artists you like to boost your chance of meeting people whose interests are aligned with yours. You may also want to start attending neighborhood events and meetings, as well as store grand openings and local library events. Your goal here is to make your presence felt in your neighborhood or community, so more people will become more familiar with you, especially those who are also fond of what you like doing. Be a member of your local community, too. Volunteer. Volunteering in several charitable institutions and organizations can also positively affect your well-being and encourage more social interactions that have a high chance of transforming into friendships. What's even better about volunteering is that it promotes positive feelings. It can make you feel good, thereby battling loneliness and the negative feeling of being isolated. It can also present the right opportunity for making friends. The activities that you will get to do as you volunteer for a cause can also positively affect the community. It lets you engage with those who have the same beliefs and values as you, thereby promoting instant connection. Your volunteering efforts will also give you the opportunity to work with people collaboratively and bond with them based on your shared goals and values. With that, you will gain the chance to develop close and solid friendships. A simple act of joining a cause, specifically one that you are truly passionate about, is also very fulfilling. Here, you will get introduced to volunteers who are passionate about the social issues you are also interested in. You can then work together to fulfill your cause and resolve issues in your own little way. You and your fellow volunteers have this common goal of making the world where we live a better place, which is a good way to initiate a friendship. Join a support group to build emotional connections. You may also want to check out support groups in your locality. Support groups serve as social clubs made for those suffering from a certain issue, such as a mental health problem, addiction, or grief due to the loss of a loved one. You will most likely find one dedicated to those suffering from social anxiety. You can also find churches and organizations offering the public courses and support groups that aim to guide you to grow spiritually. There are also support groups dedicated to those with mental health problems or addictions. Taking part in these groups will help sufferers manage their symptoms and recover quickly. Pick a support group that resonates with you, one with members whose struggles and experiences are similar to yours. This can eliminate or lessen difficulties associated with building friendships. You can also cultivate positivity within you, as the act of sharing and offering emotional support can make anyone feel good. It also further cultivates genuine bonds and trust. Use social media and other online platforms. Take advantage of social media to find potential friends and introduce yourself out there. Make sure that you have accounts on various social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, so you can immediately add and follow someone who has the potential to become your friend. Through social media, connecting with people, even the ones you met for the first time, is possible. This can deepen your connection and even turn casual friendships into close relationships. Just make sure that you exercise patience when using social media for the purpose of making friends, since this trait is the key to developing long-lasting and real friendships. Remember that you may have to chat with several people and participate in a few online events to make that happen, so patience is a must. To help you, here are a few social media and online platforms where you can meet new friends. Facebook. While Facebook is frequently used to keep in touch and communicate with old and existing friends, it also works effectively for those who wish to find new friends through the platform. This is primarily because of its huge user base. To find friends through this platform, be a member of Facebook groups in your locality that are in line with your interests. Interact with the people in the group where you are constantly. If you were successful in making some friends online, you might want to take it to a deeper level by asking for a meetup. Reddit. You may also want to try making friends on Reddit, one of the biggest online communities in the world. You can take advantage of the subreddits on this site that refers to subforums revolving around certain topics. Most members here are fond of attending meetups, whether it is one-on-one or within a group. Do you want to start posting on Reddit? Then ensure that you write something about your character and personality. You should be able to give the members of the site a glimpse of who you are and the specific people you wish to meet there. Meetup. You can also use Meetup, which is a fantastic way of finding people with the same interests and mindsets as you, meaning they have a high chance of becoming your friends. A lot of events on the site are usually one-offs, which means they do not provide several opportunities for one-on-one communication and interactions. Despite that, it still has these recurring meetups that give members like you a chance to meet and talk to the same set of people on a regular basis. This can deepen your closeness with them. Also, there are meetups that you can set online, a big advantage if you lack reliable options for transport and can't dedicate a lot of time to personal meetups. Discord. If you are still unfamiliar with Discord, then be aware that this site has what we call servers where you can join, depending on what interests you. It is famous among gamers, so if you are fond of video games, you may want to sign up on this site and look for someone with whom you can enjoy playing your favorite video game. You can also access and join servers designed for making friends and casual conversations. What's even more impressive about Discord is that it is easy to use. You will never experience problems using it to interact with potential friends through text, video chat, or voice. What can you do in case there isn't a community in Discord that is suitable for you? You don't have to worry, as the site allows you to set up your own community. Yubo. Do you want to spend more time learning about the interests, backgrounds, and other information about someone before you turn things into a friendship? Then Yubo, a live streaming and social platform, is an incredible option for you. This platform allows you to swipe so you can find new friends, hang out through shared live streams, explore various interest groups, and chat with the help of the app. Wink. There is also a popular friendship app that allows you to connect and interact with friends locally and internationally. It is called Wink, and it is popular for becoming user-friendly. Just create a profile on this platform that features several details and pictures about your interests, likes, dislikes, and preferences. After inputting such information, you can start exploring and learning about other users in Wink. If someone particularly captures your interests and you want to be their friend, just swipe the app and open a conversation. It also has a messenger feature, which lets you send pictures, GIFs, and messages among many others to the members. Mentioned are just a few of the many apps, websites, social media, and online platforms that contribute to building new yet meaningful relationships. These apps and tools are so effective that they can make you realize how powerful technology and social media is in terms of expanding your social circle. Chapter 5: How to Approach People and Initiate Conversations. Now it's time to move to one of the most challenging areas of making friends and socializing, especially for introverts: approaching people and initiating conversations. You may find this extremely challenging because your introverted personality likely makes you prefer being with a small group of friends, specifically those whom you trust and you are comfortable with. However, if your goal is to have more friends and expand your social circle, then you also have to exert an effort to learn the correct way of approaching people, introducing yourself, and initiating small talk and conversations. Fortunately, the challenging part is only usually at the start. Once you get used to talking to people, even those you just met, you will be able to do it comfortably and confidently. How to approach people confidently. By learning a few conversation starters as well as some strategies for approaching people, you will be more prepared to make friends and establish a connection. You can apply these techniques in meetups, in the workplace, as well as in parties and public settings. Prepare appropriate greetings. You need to give each person you meet a warm and friendly greeting if you intend to leave a positive impression. Practice showing a warm and friendly demeanor so people won't be afraid to approach you. Even those who are socially anxious, just like you, will feel more relaxed and comfortable when interacting with you. When it comes to greeting someone online with the hopes of initiating a friendship, you can appear more approachable by adding emojis in the message you send to them. The goal here is to inject a positive tone into your conversations, which can contribute a lot to improving interactions. Never fail to introduce yourself. No matter how anxious you are, you should still take the initiative to introduce yourself. Do not delay the introductions, otherwise your anxiety and nervousness may only worsen, which may only end up stopping you from approaching someone. Regardless of the event or setting you are in, whether in the workplace, party, or meetup, you have to muster the courage to introduce yourself to someone immediately. Give a firm handshake as you introduce yourself. As you talk to people, try to say their names again, too, so you can remember them, which is also an effective technique in leaving a positive and lasting impression. Approach like a friend. Keep in mind that people will be able to make their first impressions on you within just a few seconds of looking at you. Sometimes the impression will be formed even before they hear you talk. With that in mind, before initiating a conversation, you should approach the whole process using confident, open, and friendly body language. This is so you can immediately show that you are indeed a friend if someone is still trying to gauge if you are a foe or a friend. To ensure that your body language is open and friendly from the moment you step inside a social setting, follow these tips. Ensure that your hands are visible. Keep your shoulders rolled back and down. This helps in keeping your shoulders look relaxed and nice. Smile each time you see and recognize familiar faces. Do this if you see someone you wish to interact with, too. Ensure that there is proper eye contact while approaching someone and talking to them. Begin your approach with eye contact. Note that eye contact increases your oxytocin level, which is a big help in feeling good and enhancing social bonds. This also forms trust between two people. If you are in a social setting and find someone you wish to talk to, start through proper eye contact. Find the perfect balance between releasing eye contact too quickly and looking at their eyes for an extremely long period. Eye contact should not go over 5 minutes, as it may already cause discomfort and awkwardness in the person you decide to talk to. Eye contact helps establish a friendlier atmosphere, but it can also make awkward situations more uncomfortable. This is why you have to really practice how to make proper eye contact. Pair it up with a friendly and relaxed face. A good tip is to blink every now and then when maintaining eye contact, so it will not end up looking like a stare. Give a warm smile. When approaching someone, do not forget to give out a genuine and warm smile. Learn the art of smiling too, so you wouldn't end up making a mistake. Avoid smiling too quickly and then letting this expression fade in just a few seconds, since those around you may perceive it as a fake smile or that you lack interest. Ensure that your smile does not look forced too. Avoid tightening your cheeks and clenching your jaw when smiling, as this will clearly demonstrate your discomfort and awkwardness. Show your genuine warm smile by relaxing your lips, squinting your eyes a bit, raising and relaxing your cheeks, and making your face lean a bit forward. If you feel anxious and nervous about the need to smile and approach a stranger, mainly because you are not used to it, given your introverted personality, you can make yourself relaxed by thinking of an event or anything that makes you feel happy. It could be a funny experience you had in the past or your lovely puppy. Keep this thought as you smile and approach someone. If you notice them returning your smile, then it could indicate that they are open to the idea of making friends with you. With the help of these tips, you will feel more confident and comfortable approaching someone and talking to people. How to initiate conversations or small talks and establish a connection. The art of making friends does not just end with mustering the courage to approach someone. You also have to be adept and skilled in initiating conversations to build a connection. The problem is that while some know exactly how to make and start conversations, it is not the strength of others. Still, you can hone this important social skill. Honing your skills and initiating conversations and small talk is important, as you can use them in a lot of areas in your life, like leaving a good impression on potential clients, striking out conversations with potential friends, or chatting with new acquaintances. If you are skilled in this area, your confidence and comfort level, regardless of the social setting you are in, will go up. To improve your skills in starting conversations, work on improving your communication skills. It also helps to prepare ahead of time and learn a few conversation and communication killers that you have to avoid. Learn about simple conversations that you can use when approaching someone too. Here are a few things that you can do to make it easier for you to initiate conversations. Keep everything simple. It is not necessary to overthink and use grand introductions once you start to talk to someone. Simply saying hello or asking someone about their day or their experience in an event would be a great start already. You will know that one is also interested in making friends with you if you are able to continue the talk. For instance, if you have just finished your workout routine in a gym, you can tell someone next to you that, "I sense that this will make me feel sore later." If you keep everything simple, you can initiate small talk and conversations without making the other party feel intimidated or uncomfortable. It also prevents you from feeling extremely pressured while thinking of clever things to say. Prepare in advance. If you feel anxious about being in a crowd or room of many people, you may find the process of starting conversations in any social setting extremely daunting and intimidating. Such social settings are challenging to tackle if you consider yourself socially anxious, shy, or introverted. Reduce your anxiety and nervousness by doing all the necessary preparations. For instance, think of interesting topics that you can discuss with others. To further harness your communication skills, you may also practice with someone you trust. This can bolster your conversational and communication skills. If the nervousness and anxiety remain, fill your mind with positive thoughts. Eliminate your worries and stop overthinking about the possibility of committing a mistake. Try to have faith and confidence in your abilities. Before reaching the setting, ensure that your mind is already free of worries. Improve your active and engaged listening skills too, since it can contribute to maintaining your focus on every conversation you have. In addition, you can do a few deep breathing exercises before attending an event and anytime you feel tense and nervous. It helps in keeping you calm and promotes the natural and smooth flow of your conversations. Ensure that you properly introduce yourself, too, while providing the other person the chance to do the same. This should serve as the initial icebreaker, after which you can start to ask simple questions or make some observations to give both parties a chance to have a healthy and interesting discussion. Ask questions. After breaking the ice, you can continue the conversation by raising questions. You may also ask someone that has the potential of becoming your friend to do a simple thing for you. For instance, if you want to be friends with the other moms at your child's school, you can ask one mom to remind you of the exact time of the class dismissal on a particular day. This should help you in initiating a conversation. Another example is to ask for advice from a coworker in case you are still new in the workplace. For example, you can tell a colleague how polished his PowerPoint presentations are and politely ask for a few tips on how to do it. These questions and requests will start as great conversation starters that will make way for more interactions and deep connections. Continue conversations by asking open-ended questions, too. This should help in making your conversations flow continuously. Open-ended questions that are answerable with more than just a simple yes or no. For instance, if you hear that someone went on a trip, you can ask about the activities they did on their vacation. This will lengthen the conversation as you are giving them a chance to elaborate on their experience. It also helps to ask other relevant questions once you receive their initial response. In addition, try to convert compliments into questions. For instance, you can say, "I love how you dress up. May I ask where you got your trendy pieces?" Another open-ended question that may offer interesting and fun responses and spice up your conversations would be their experiences in high school. Be wary of conversation killers. Avoid conversation killers that may only put off people, especially if you are not yet so familiar with them. You may notice that political commentaries, complaints, offensive jokes, and gossip are among the usual conversation starters of your uncles whenever the family gets together. However, you should not use such topics in your everyday life. When initiating conversations, do not dwell on uncomfortable, controversial, or offensive topics. Your opinions in the mentioned areas require the right place and time to be expressed. You also have to avoid persuading others based on your opinions and personal position on the mentioned topics. If you feel that you are in an appropriate place and time to talk about the mentioned topics, you also have to make sure first that the ones you are talking to indeed welcome such topics. This is important before you end up launching an impassioned debate. An effective way to open conversations with strangers is to stick to fairly innocuous observations and comments. It would be an effective conversation opener because it is not that threatening. Plus, it can encourage the person you are interacting with to respond. Change topics. Most conversations that take over several minutes will most likely cover multiple topics or subjects. With that, it is crucial for you to be adept in smooth shifting or changing topics. Be ready to move to topics that are beyond the icebreakers. You can prepare for topics to talk about by being more knowledgeable about pop culture and current events. This should help give you your observation and comments on topics that are frequently talked about. For instance, you can talk about the box office movies you have watched this year and what you love about them. You should also prepare yourself to transition smoothly to other topics. You could say things like, "Your experience made me recall my wonderful experience in Paris. Have you visited there?" This kind of transition is a good way to make your talk flow smoothly and naturally. Use body language. If you want to initiate conversations properly, then pair it up with the appropriate body language. Note that in conversations you started with people you just met, the physical cues demonstrated by your body are as crucial as what you say. An important body language you can use to show your interest in talking to someone is a warm smile. It can show people that you are open to friendship and that you are approachable and fun to be with. Smiling warmly and genuinely is also an effective means to showing support. If someone tries to share a story with you, you should give a warm smile to indicate your interest in what they are saying. Eye contact is also important. Look the person in the eye to show how engaged you are in your talk. This also shows that you are truly listening to what they tell you, and you respect them. What's great about establishing proper eye contact is that it also helps engaging the reactions of other people. You can see through their eyes if they are bored, affectionate, angry, happy, or have any other emotion. Avoid staring at people for an extremely long period, though. Allow your gaze to take on the surroundings naturally so it will not solely be directed to the person you are talking to. This can eliminate possible discomfort and awkwardness. Another important body language that you can demonstrate is a simple nod. It is an effective and useful nonverbal cue as it can show your potential friends that you are indeed listening to them and you understand them. A simple nod also indicates agreement and support. Just make sure you do not overdo the nodding. Avoid doing it continuously, as it can only make the gesture less genuine. You also need to have an open posture. Keep your arms relaxed and ensure that your body's trunk stays open to demonstrate your friendliness. Make sure that your overall expression is friendly and your stance is comfortable so you can physically show your genuine interest in learning about a person. Inject positivity in your conversations. Ensure that you are able to maintain such a positive tone, too. Start conversations using an upbeat and positive tone. Avoid approaching someone while aiming to complain, show your disappointment, or make negative observations. Regardless of the situation you are in, you should still look for something positive and use it in your conversations. You can give your positive comments on the event, the weather, the company you are in, or the food. In most cases, a comment as simple as "you have a wonderful and pleasant experience in a particular event" can already initiate conversations. Inject a positive note to the situation no matter how imperfect it is. For instance, you can talk about how good the presentation is in an event, how well organized the event is, and how the weather perfectly complements the occasion. Expect to receive better responses from people if you give out positive comments instead of negative ones. This is also a good way to demonstrate that you have a pleasant and positive aura, which is a good way of making others feel at ease in your presence. With that, they will be more interested in talking with you longer. Use these tips to begin conversations with ease and keep them going smoothly without discomfort and awkwardness. These tips aim to help you forge strong and solid social connections that can benefit both your body and mind. By forming social connections and relationships, you can strengthen your immunity, keep your stress and anxiety levels low, make yourself more empathetic towards other people, and increase your longevity and self-esteem. With the help of the tips here, you will become more skilled in starting conversations, which can contribute to forging social connections essential for your overall health and well-being. Chapter 6: How to Nurture and Strengthen New Friendships. Now that you know a few tips on how to make friends, it is time to learn how you can nurture and strengthen your newly formed friendships. For adults, this may be kind of challenging as it is usually impossible to find plenty of time prioritizing relationships and friendships, considering their hectic schedules. Your current circle may already consist of people whom you consider friends and you value deeply. Through your efforts, you may have also started new friendships. Whether they are old or new friends, your ultimate goal should be to strengthen the bond and deepen the relationship. Note, though, that contrary to what most people believe, you don't need to do something grand all the time to nurture your friendships. In fact, new friendships can be boosted with even the littlest of things. Even simple efforts that look trivial and do not require plenty of commitment can have a huge positive impact on your relationship. To help you, this chapter will cover several tips and techniques that will let you nurture your new friendship and maintain existing ones. How to nurture and hone the friendships you built. Friendships can't be expected to last if you don't exert even the slightest effort to nurture them. Remember that fostering healthy relationships, no matter how new they are, requires give and take. You should be willing to give support or receive it when necessary. You also have to let your new friends know how much they mean to you. Show them you care and appreciate them so you can strengthen the bond, thereby increasing the potential of your friendship to last long. Here are some tips that will surely help you in nurturing and honing friendships, even new ones. Show kindness. One of the most basic behaviors taught to you when you are young is to be kind. The same trait also plays a vital role in establishing a successful friendship. Start perceiving the friendships you developed as emotional bank accounts. With that scenario, you will notice that each act and expression of gratitude and kindness will act as deposits. Meanwhile, any negativity and unnecessary criticism within the friendship can bring your account balance down. Based on that premise, you really have to work on sharing kindness with new and potential friends. Reveal things that are personal to you. You can also deepen and strengthen your connections with a new friend by revealing something personal about yourself that only a limited number know. Start having conversations that you find difficult and uncomfortable and make you feel vulnerable if you want to bring your friendship to the next level. The goal here is to open yourself up to your own vulnerability with a potential friend you know you can trust. Doing so can help you resolve a problem while furthering your insight into yourself and your own actions. Communicating this way will make you learn about your friends on a much deeper level. Moreover, you can use it to open your eyes to and hear another perspective, which will help you learn something while strengthening your bond of trust. Continue to be a good and active listener. Keep in touch with friends, even those whom you have just met. You may want to start asking about what goes on in their lives. Let them know that you care for them and you pay close attention to what they are telling you using appropriate body language and eye contact. Give brief comments like, "That looks interesting," every now and then. Be a good listener, especially when your friend talks about important details of their struggles and their negative experiences. Show your empathy, but avoid giving any advice unless they ask you for it. Make sure to show your availability. Make your availability known to your friend. Remember that cultivating a close and strong friendship requires time to be together. That said, you have to make meetups with new and old friends a part of your routine. Check in with them between each meetup. The first scheduled get-together or talks on your phone may feel uncomfortable and awkward at first, but sooner or later, you will feel more comfortable talking to them, thereby bolstering your friendship. Form habits designed to nurture friendships. Remember how important effort and intentionality are in making your friendships deep, long-lasting, and genuine. It is important to exert an effort to spend time with them and reach out. Look for ways on how you can effectively schedule some time to have meaningful connections and contact with your friends while making this a part of your life. Be grateful for your friends. Harness the important attitude of gratitude for the friends you have made. Spend even just a short period of time regularly to reflect on the different ways through which you are genuinely grateful for the friends you have. With that, you can perceive your friendships as real gifts. This can motivate you to take the friendship to a deeper level. Avoid faking it. You will become more appealing to your potential friends if you are both genuine and self-confident. Never make the mistake of faking it. If you try extremely hard to fit in and behave in a specific way just so you can impress people, you may only cause them to unmask who you really are. They can even sense if you are just pretending or faking it. Do not conceal your minor quirks. What you should do instead is to own and accept them as such, which makes up who you are. These are the things that make you unforgettable and unique. If you have new friends, nurture the friendship by demonstrating who you truly are. The goal here is to remain authentic and honest regarding your intentions. Ensure that there is mutual interest. It is not highly recommended to force someone you just met to be your friend. This means that before you behave as a buddy to a potential friend, determine first if they genuinely like to learn more about you too. One way to sense this is to observe whether they are asking you questions with the goal of getting to know you better. Observe their responses too. They should be welcoming and warm. Find out whether they always acknowledge your questions and respond appropriately, or they tend to talk without giving you the chance to ask. Avoid expecting too much. Manage your expectations in the new friendships you build. This prompts the need to stop being so clingy and needy, especially to new friends. Provide them with adequate space first and know your boundaries and limits. Avoid forcing or expecting someone to perceive you as a friend immediately. There should be enough time to establish commitment and trust in the new relationship. In this case, it helps to maintain an open window of communication. You may also want to follow up, but only on an occasional basis. Avoid setting very high expectations, too. Value and celebrate even minor things. To nurture new friendships, make it a point to celebrate important things, moments, and milestones in your friend's life. Keep in mind that how strong a friendship will turn out to be depends on cherishing even the minor details of your friend. For instance, you can cheer for him in those moments when they feel upset. Accept differences. Just because you have a few differences with your new friend does not necessarily mean you can no longer take your friendship to the next level. Note that most friendships blossom because of similarities, but you don't have to reject those people who are different from yours. The key to building meaningful friendships despite differences is acceptance. Rejoice about the fact that you have the same tastes, passions, and interests, but know that having differences should not cause your friendship to fail. Let your friends know that you accept each other's differences, so they will be at ease when they are with you. Do not be too secretive. You may have a few secrets that you want to keep to yourself, and that's okay. However, you also have to make your new friends know that you are open to sharing some personal details about yourself. You can share with them what you believe in and your values, as well as your life goals. Be open to the possibility of expressing yourself to your friends, as this can also help build up trust and respect towards each other. Upon acknowledging your trust and respect, there is a high chance for them to reciprocate by looking at you as someone trustworthy too. This can enhance your comfort level when you are together. The result would be a mixture of mutual trust, appreciation, and interest, which is a major help in building a strong and solid foundation for a long-lasting friendship. Offer help when needed. You can also nurture your friendship by showing them your availability in times of need. Make your presence felt whenever they need you. Be among the first people who encourage them and let them know that you are one of those who truly appreciate them. Every time they are struggling, make sure to show that you are one of those they can lean on. This can help build trust, an important component in a friendship. Be among those who encourage their dreams. Every time your friend looks for advice or whenever you notice they feel lost, be there as a source of encouragement and motivation. Listen to them and support and encourage their dreams. Inspire them by showing them your faith in their abilities and potential to reach their dreams and goals in life. Chapter 7. How to deal with certain challenges in friendship. Once you have nurtured and cultivated a stable friendship, you will notice its positive effects on your life, especially in terms of your level of happiness. However, you should remind yourself that friendships do not always bring joy. In some cases, your friends may also bring negativity to your life. In other words, your relationship will not be smooth sailing all the time. Eventually, you will end up having conflicts, disagreements, and misunderstandings. Now, how can you preserve your friendship despite the issues? This chapter will try to give you answers. How to deal with envy and jealousy in friendships. Envy and jealousy in friendships are both common and normal. I'm sure that there are several instances in your life when you feel envious and jealous of at least one friend. Jealousy and envy in friendships may appear due to various reasons. In most cases, though, it is prompted by the low self-confidence and self-esteem of the jealous friend, making them feel threatened. Anyone who has low self-esteem often views themselves negatively. With this behavior, they end up comparing themselves and feeling inferior even to their friends. The problem is that friendships marred by unresolved envy or jealousy will eventually turn toxic. This is the reason why you have to know how to detect envy and jealousy in friendships first so you can look for productive ways to cope with them. Admit the presence of jealous thoughts and feelings. In most cases, it is not enough to exert an effort to try stopping, suppressing, or hanging a negative feeling or thought. Such efforts not only cause you to feel exhausted, frustrated, and emotional, you should also avoid judgments, as this can only worsen the situation. The reason is that it can only fuel anger, guilt, and shame. It is important to improve your willingness to experience and accept various emotions, including sadness, anger, and jealousy, as this is the key to overcoming negative emotions. By accepting negative emotions, there is a high chance that you can work more quickly. You also have a low chance of making bad choices even if you are upset. With that, it helps to remind constantly that jealousy and envy are normal. Whenever you or your friend feels jealous, you can remind them that such feelings are valid and normal, so fighting them would be unnecessary. Avoid feeding the jealousy. Rumination is a bad habit that tends to worsen the feeling of jealousy. It may also cause you to say or do something that you regret. If you repeat your negative, jealous, and angry thoughts and focus on them, there is a high chance that your feeling of jealousy will worsen too. These kinds of thoughts may end up feeding your negative feelings, thereby strengthening them and making them longer lasting. Be compassionate and honest. If it is your friend that is wallowing in envy and jealousy over you, then make it a point to show your compassion and honesty. Help them understand that, just like them, your life is not also perfect. Let them know about your struggles in a way that is not competitive. You can do that if you provide a listening ear as they talk about the issues they are dealing with. Never belittle and minimize what they feel. Avoid ending up becoming confrontational. How others behave will always be out of your control. What you can do instead is control yourself. Once you notice that they are becoming defensive, stop yourself from pushing back. Uncover the exact reason or source of the jealousy instead. In most cases, it is caused by insecurity. By mitigating the insecurity, you will be of help in making them feel better when they think about themselves. Provide some breathing room. Once you notice that envy and jealousy start to cause discomfort when the two of you are together, then it would be necessary to take a break. This is a necessity so the two of you can breathe away from each other, allowing everything to be placed in the right perspective. Eventually, this can make your friend remember the relationship and bond you shared, which is even more significant compared to envy. Use envy or jealousy as a motivator or fuel. Envy and jealousy have very negative connotations that people may fail to see that these feelings also have positive effects. For one, they serve as highly effective motivators. The only thing you ought to do is refrain the feeling of envy and jealousy. Acknowledge the fact that despite being negative, jealousy or envy contributes to emphasizing or highlighting something of value that is essential to you. For instance, if your jealousy of your friend stems from seeing how close he or she is with his or her family, you can reflect on your own life and find out what steps you can take to make you closer to your family too. Envy and jealousy may cause you to assume that things are out of your control. Still, you have to utilize this feeling to determine what you value and prioritize in life. With that, you will be able to know what actionable steps you have to take to improve your life. Offer support. If you realize that your friend is jealous or envious of you, then make it a point to show them how much you intend to offer your support to them. Inform them how much you are willing to help them deal with their feelings more effectively. Find out how you can offer your friend the best kind of support at this time. Kindly ask about what they feel. Listen to them and empathize with them. As you listen, point out things they say that you agree with and make sense. Make sure that you validate the hurt and jealous feelings of your friend and try to provide a different spin on their interpretation of things. Make sure that this spin is positive, painting the two of you in a good and positive light. Give your friend reassurance and provide support. It also helps to point out examples and pieces of evidence that are capable of contradicting negative thoughts. Be more mindful. Note that it is hard for anyone to admit that they are jealous and insecure, so make sure that you are more mindful when you spend time with your friends. Remember that your friend's jealousy does not immediately equate to the possibility of them ruining your success. The truth is, your friend may feel both jealous and happy for any milestone or accomplishment you have. You just have to start being more mindful to detect quickly any sign of jealousy and insecurity in your relationships. How to deal with conflicts, disagreements, and misunderstandings. Just like jealousy, conflicts, disagreements, and misunderstandings may also pop up eventually in your friendship and relationship. These disagreements and misunderstandings are normal, but what can you do to ensure that these negatives won't end up ruining your relationships? The first thing that you ought to do is be aware of the common things that cause friction among friends. This is so you can avoid them as much as possible. Among the usual culprits of disagreement among friends are the following: miscommunication. It could be because of a joke, one that the other party finds offensive rather than funny. Inadequate support. There are also instances where you and your friend do not agree on how support should be. This can lead to misunderstandings. Broken trust. Allowing problems and issues to remain unresolved. Money issues. Sarcasm. Regardless of the cause of the conflict, misunderstanding, or disagreement, you have to exert an effort to resolve them as soon as possible. You can do so with these simple tips. Avoid making it too personal. Once you get upset, remind yourself that the concept or idea raised by your friend is the reason behind it. This means that your frustration should not be directly pointed to your friend. Do not take it personally to avoid making the issue blow up. Do not personally attack your friend, too. Avoid making the mistake of saying and lashing out things that may hurt people. Also, stop yourself from reminding them of what you did for them when they struggled with the hopes of making them feel guilty. Prevent yourself from doing this as much as possible. Avoid making the issue revolve around their personal shortcomings and flaws. Stick to the exact conflict that you were trying to resolve, and do not issue personal attacks unless you want to end your friendship. Hurting someone by bringing up their shortcomings or flaw, one that they do not have full control over, will not make you feel better. Pick the correct and appropriate time to settle your issues. You have to find the perfect time for the two of you to reach out and talk about your issues. Do not try to confront your friend out of the blue or without any heads up. This may only cause one party to feel attacked since they have no idea what is going on. Despite being fully aware that the two of you have a problem, know that there is always an appropriate place and time to resolve it. Ask your friend first, either through chat or call, when it is a good time to discuss something with him. Avoid bringing your issues up out of nowhere. Both parties should be aware so you can talk comfortably about it. Talk about your issues face to face. Make sure that your conversation with your friend is done face to face. A video chat will also do, as long as you see each other's faces and body language. Your facial expressions and body language are capable of communicating several things that can't be seen if you talk through a phone call or text. By having a face-to-face talk, you can prevent further miscommunications and misunderstandings. You have to face each other to make the talk a lot easier, since both of you will be reminded that you are real people who care for each other and should resolve any conflict that exists so your friendship can go back to normal. Be empathetic. Exercise empathy as you discuss your issues. By ensuring that empathy is properly set in place, you can raise the possibility of having a healthy resolution of conflicts and misunderstandings. Put yourself in the shoes of your friend and reflect on what you will most likely feel if you are in their situation. Reflect on what it feels like to feel their feelings or think their thoughts. Also, you may want to consider learning about whether there is something that goes on in their life that tends to contribute to the situation. It could be that your friend struggles at school or home. If you think that your friend did something wrong to you, try to look at their perspective using the eyes of an outsider so you can understand them better. This is to prevent you from taking things too personally and reacting emotionally, further worsening the misunderstandings. Stay calm. Conflicts and disagreements usually result from a mix of different negative emotions, including hurt, annoyance, frustration, and anger. These feelings can also move from mild to major within just a few seconds. However, you should avoid unleashing hurt or rage on your friend since it will not be of help in resolving your misunderstandings and conflicts. Remain calm, as it can contribute a lot to resolving disagreements. By staying calm and preventing negative emotions from overwhelming you, both parties will be able to explain each other's points in a clear and logical manner, thereby promoting better understanding. With that, your chances of resolving your issues and saving your friendship will be higher. Take time to assess the friendship. Make an honest assessment of how close you are to the friend you have a conflict with. The result of your assessment should let you know whether the issue is worth your attention. If it is a conflict with a new friend or someone whom you are not that close to, ask yourself if it is a sign that this friendship may not be for you. However, if it is a misunderstanding with an old friend, someone who has been with you for a long time already, it may be in both your interests to address the problem. Note that the presence of conflict does not automatically mean that you are incompatible. It just shows your individual preferences that may or may not be resolved and bridged through proper communication. Assess whether the relationship is worth saving or if you can benefit from letting it go as it has gone toxic. Use warm and inviting language. Despite the conflict and misunderstanding, it is still important to stay level-headed if you feel like the friendship is worth saving. Note that the way you begin a conversation has a major impact on the tone, direction of the discussion, and mood when trying to resolve a conflict. It is what we call framing, or the use of verbiage, which aims to welcome your friend instead of alienating them. Here, you will have to utilize the positive framing script. With this technique, your friend will learn how much you value the friendship, thereby encouraging both parties to talk about your misunderstandings calmly. The goal here is to remind both of you warmly that you are in one team instead of the opposing side. Use the most inviting and welcoming language to show how much you value the friendship and want to save it. Listen intently to understand. Never be afraid to ask your friends questions to better understand the exact source of their issues. No matter what information you need, perceive it as an effective means of knowing someone deeper and assessing your friendship. As you talk, do not fail to make your friend realize that you are truly listening to them. Confirm the exact reason why your friend is upset and verbalize how much you care for them and that you understand where they come from. Do this without buts, ifs, and ands. In case you want to avoid causing hurt and misunderstandings in the future, discuss how you intend to treat your friend and deal with each other from now on. Pause. If you have a conflict with your friend due to a misunderstanding, it helps to pause for a while and give both of you time to process things. You may want to pause for just a moment before you react. Try to gather details and clarification during this moment of pause and use it to respond appropriately. You need sufficient time to process things and allow the wounds to heal slowly, thereby preventing them from getting worse. The act of making friends and nurturing the friendship to make it last will not always be smooth sailing. Sooner or later, you will encounter challenges and conflicts with your friends, whether new or old. What's essential is to avoid letting go of the friendship immediately. You can still do something about your misunderstandings and conflicts. Remember that your friendship can grow from this. As you try resolving your misunderstandings and conflicts, acknowledge the fact that your needs will always include social connection and belongingness. With that, you should work on improving your communication and listening skills to prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. This can contribute a lot to preventing a newly formed friendship from becoming toxic. Your goal is to build healthy and long-lasting friendships that you can count on through good and bad times. Conclusion. When planning to make real friends, remind yourself that the entire process goes beyond personally introducing yourself and initiating small talk. It also requires some commitment on your part and an effort to spend quality time with your new friends. Commit to getting to know them better too. This may be quite difficult for introverts and those who do not have naturally good conversational and communication skills. But with practice and the correct guide, like this comprehensive book on how to make friends, you will be able to harness this important life skill. Eventually, you will master the art of socializing and making real friends, and overcome the struggles and difficulties you often face when in a social setting. Hopefully, you have gained your much-needed knowledge and enlightenment on making friends through the pages of this book. Use this book to finally take the most important steps in expanding your social circle by gaining the confidence to talk to people. Sooner or later, you will see yourself having a healthy social life that will definitely add more color to your life.